First God sent plague number 1, turned the Nile into blood. All the people in Egypt were feeling pretty low. They told Pharaoh, let them go. Then God sent plague number 2, jumping frogs all over you. All the people in Egypt were feeling pretty low. They told Pharaoh, let them go. Then God sent plague number 3, swarms of gnats from head to knee. All the people in Egypt were feeling pretty low. They told Pharaoh, let them go. Then God sent plague number 4, filthy flies, need we say more. All the people in Egypt.
Today I'm going to talk about the 10 plagues of Egypt. The first plague was turning water into blood. The second plague was frogs. Third plague was lice. And the fourth plague was flies. And the fifth plague was cattle death. And the sixth plague was boils. And the seventh plague was hailstone. And the eighth plague was locust. And the ninth plague was darkness. And the 10th plague was death of the firstborn. Pharaoh had 10 opportunities to let the Israelites go. But Pharaoh had an ardent heart until the 10th plague. What does it mean to have an ardent heart? It means to see the clear evidence of the hand of God at work and still refuse to accept His word and submit to His will. It means to resist Him by showing ingratitude and disobedience and not having fear of the Lord or of His judgments. Hard-hearted people say with Pharaoh, "Who is this Lord that I should obey His voice?" To have a soft heart is to know the God's will and obey it.
Hello everyone, I'm Hannah. I'm going to tell 10 plagues of Egypt. Water turns to blood, frogs, games, flies, livestock. Thank you. Hello everyone, I'm Johanna. Boils, hail, locusts, 3 days darkness, death of firstborn. Thank you.
So God wanted the Israelites to be free from slavery under Pharaoh. So God sent Moses to Pharaoh, but Pharaoh did not agree to free his people. So God sent the 10 plagues to Egypt. The first plague was the Nile River turning into blood. So all the fishes died in the river and the Israelites could not drink the water. The second plague was the frogs. So everywhere around their bed, food and drinks, there were frogs surrounded by them. But Pharaoh was irritated by the frogs. Next came the lice. The lice were everywhere around. The fourth plague was flies. The flies were all around the house, everywhere and everywhere. The fifth plague was the livestock. All the livestock in the field of Egypt died, and the people felt sad. Next, the sixth plague was boils. On everyone's face there were boils, they were scratching and the bubbles hatched and it was painful. But still Pharaoh refused to send the people. Next, the little painfulest one was the seventh plague. That was the hail. From the sky, the ice cubes were falling, and if the people were touching that, it used to turn to fire, and many people died. And next was the locusts. And the locusts went all over the fields and destroyed the field, all the crops and everything. So the people again were sad. Next came the darkness, the very painfulest one. Then all over Egypt there was darkness, no one could see anything. Next, the 10th, the last and the final plague was the firstborn sons. All the firstborn sons of Egypt were killed, including those who was Pharaoh's son. His son also died, but the Egyptians and the Israelites' babies did not die because God had commanded them to put goat's blood all over their house. So the angel of death did not visit that house. The 10 plagues were the 10 chances that God gave to Pharaoh to free God's people and to change Pharaoh's mind. But Pharaoh refused to change his mind until the last and the final plague, the 10th plague that killed his firstborn son. Thank you.
Hello everyone, I am Rishabh. This week's memory verse, Galatians chapter 5 verse 1. It is a freedom that the Christ has set us free. Stand firm then and do not let yourself be burdened again by a yoke of slavery. Thank you.
Hello everyone, Jarisha here. Today I am going to show the activity which I have made. The activity is about 10 plagues. The first plague, about how the Nile River turns blood. The first plague, when Pharaoh did not agree to let the Israelites go, then God did the first miracle, that is about turning Nile River to blood. The second plague is frogs everywhere. Frogs, when Pharaoh did not agree again, God sent frogs everywhere, the second miracle. Third plague, lice everywhere. Pharaoh still did not agree because of frogs, so God sent lice. The fourth plague, flies this time. Flies. Pharaoh had a stubborn heart, so he didn't care for lice, so God sent flies. The fifth plague, cattle destroyed. Cattle destroyed. Pharaoh still didn't care for flies, so God made all cattle die.
Hello everyone, I am Johan. I'm going to show my activity about 10 plagues. Yes, the sixth plague. Pause on the people. Pause. Now still Pharaoh didn't care, so God now made Pharaoh suffer some paws. The seventh plague. Hail now. Yes, hail. Pharaoh even did not care for him, so God sent. Many died from hail. The eighth plague. Locusts now. Locusts. Now Pharaoh still did not listen, so God sent locusts. The ninth plague. Now darkness. Darkness. Now Pharaoh still did not listen, so God made darkness all over Egypt. The death of the firstborn. Pharaoh still did not listen, so he killed the firstborn from the Egypt, Pharaoh's son too.
Love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him. For all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh, and the lust of the eyes, and the pride of life is not of the Father, but is of the world. 1 John chapter 2 verse 15.
Hi all, this is Monanya, the memory verse. Galatians chapter 5 verse 1. It is for freedom that Christ has set us free. Stand firm then, and do not let yourselves be burdened again by yoke of slavery. Thank you.
Hi everyone, this is my activity. Today I am going to talk about the 10 plagues of Egypt. The 10th and last plague was the death of the firstborn. Unlike the other plagues, this plague needed an act of faith. Each family must kill an unblemished lamb and apply the blood to the doorposts. And they must roast the lamb and eat it that night. The only protection was the blood of the Lamb on the door. Likewise, God sent His only begotten Son, Lord Jesus Christ, to save us from the judgment of God. Whoever believes in the Lord Jesus Christ that He died on the cross of Calvary and rose again on the third day, and accept Lord Jesus Christ as a personal Savior, and we will be saved from the upcoming wrath of God. Thank you.
1 John chapter 2 verse 15 and 16. Love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him. For all the things that is in the world, the lust of the flesh, the lust of eyes, the pride of life, is not of the Father, but of the world. Thank you.
Hi everyone, today I'm going to talk about the 10 plagues. So the first plague was turning water into blood. The second plague was frogs. And the third plague was lice. And the fourth plague was flies. And the fifth plague was all the cattle died. And the sixth plague was boils. And the seventh plague was hailstones. And the eighth plague was locusts. Because of the locusts, all the crops was destroyed. Darkness. And the 10th plague was, and Moses said to the elders, take the blood of the lamb and apply it in front of the doors, and the doors which has the blood of the lamb, the death will not come to their house. And all the firstborns of Egypt were dead.
1 John chapter 2 verse 15 and 16. Love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him. If all that is in the world are the lust of the flesh and lust of the eyes and the pride of life in and not of the Father, but in is of the world. Thank you.
Hello everyone, Jerusha here.
Johan here.
The memory verse.
It is for freedom Christ has set us free.
Stand firm then, do not let yourselves be burdened again by a yoke of slavery. Galatians 5 verse 1. Thank you.
Finally, Pharaoh let them go.